Okay. I think I have one announcement from my end. So basically, this is regarding project two, and since you have project two, which will require certain level of guidance, we'll have Professor Anand specifically joining two sessions for project two, probably Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll have a formal email once um, we finalize the time, but next week we'll definitely have two sessions which will be handled by Professor Anand. I can guide you on how to proceed further, or you can come up with any roadblocks, any specific questions you have with project two. So I think those sessions will be handled by Professor Anand. He'll be there for two sessions. We'll give a prior notice on when the session is. Right now, it is tentatively on Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
So the calendar shows like 8 to like 16 and sorry 17, 18, 8 to 10 we have TDS session. So that would be for ROE.
Yes, in the calendar. Yeah, I was about to bring that. So, calendar, you have two sessions tomorrow and Friday, right? 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. There are two 2 hour sessions.
Yes. Yes.
Jivraj and Teach will be able to take that sessions. Anyways, I think already we have covered lots of topics with respect to ROE over the past 2 days. But still, yeah, it's again will be a recap. You can work on any questions you can bring out with any specific doubts you have. So it'll be more focused with the ROE. Because as we discussed very early during the beginning of this term, so the heavy loading or heavy lifting happens at the early stages, like the first 2 weeks. Post which, I mean, the first 2 weeks is where you understand the tools, understand, get hands on, have bugs, debug code, and get a complete view on how things have to be done. And post which, let's say when you cross the fourth and fifth, it's more like regular. You just have to handle data and then make sure that the data is able you're able to produce the results using the tools. So the later knowledge sessions, as we call, which we have, will be focused more on how to handle ROE, how to handle projects. I think from a course content standpoint, it won't be much harder for us to proceed there. It's more like going hands-on, more just do the solution, and then whether there is any problem with the solution, or how to handle ROE, how to handle project one, two. So that will be the sessions which we'll have further.
Okay, so like we'll be told like how the questions will be on the portal or
You mean ROE?
yes, sir. The
ROE will be
question.
in the portal. When I say portal, it's not on the Seek portal. So for the last two terms, we have been moving out of Seek. So essentially, it will be in the same exam. I mean, the course portal, the TDS course portal which you have. So we'll have the ROE also scheduled in that same portal.
Okay, sir.
And ideally, I believe the time duration is 45 minutes for the ROE.
Yes, 45
Yeah.
minutes.
And so format of ROE is like whatever we give in GA style, like, or something else.
The format will be similar to the GA kind of setup. So every GA you have an activity or a task that you have to do, and then you will have a comment box or a detail box where you can enter the answer. So this is going to be similar fashion. Like you'll have questions and you'll have answers following up. And ROE is, and as you know, ROE is open book exam, so you can still have access to. It's not proctored. When I say, you don't have like be on a specific video webcam and then uh, be like what to say. you'll have more of an open book where you can browse through. You can have open any browser. You can go back to your playlist, check out the code block. I mean, we ourselves open a discourse forum where anybody can post and anybody can answer out the questions for collaboration. And indeed, I think usually it happens like every ROI, you'll have the generalized groups, and you'll also have like a certain WhatsApp group or anywhere where they are able to. And during the course, generally we have at least one of our instructors available for you over a Gmeet call to have handle any technical issues. Let's say you are unable to open a portal, or let's say there's a file. We have come across few other technical errors. Earlier, you used to have a file, and then getting that file would be a problem. But I think the recent ROEs, we make sure that everything is available for you at the right moment, and there is uh, not much of a trouble as so. But nevertheless, there will be one of at least one of the instructors being on a Gmeet call, and if you have any immediate query, you just dial in and then get it's a Google Gmeet link, so you can jump to the Gmeet, see whether there is an issue, and get the issue resolved. Yes, Ravikant, it's an open internet, so you can browse anything. There is no restriction. It's an open book, so obviously you can use internet, you can use collaboration, whatever possible methods. Yeah, usually what we do is we have one of the discourse forum where yeah, that's what we instructors split into two or three different channels. One channel is a Gmeet channel just for technical troubleshooting, and other channel is like discourse where you can post query. Obviously, we'll not be giving you like an answer code or answer snippets, but essentially try to help you on any other probably technical issues or some other sort of issues. Anyways, as you said, it's open book, open collaboration, so you can work around with your team, or you can form a team, and any kind of collaboration works there. So let's say if you are able to solve, you can share your code snippet, work, make sure that the other person also understands the code. So it's more like trying to find out, figure out the problem, more like a treasure hunt. Let's say you have a couple of things, and then you have to, excuse me, you have to complete that in a given short duration. Okay, time given seems to be not sufficient. That's a key, Jolish. So the key is how we are able to efficiently manage the time. That's the crux of ROE. I think in the portal and also in a discourse post, you can see that the philosophy behind why such an ROE, and what it gives or what you take out of ROE. I mean, the biggest thing is not about the. I mean, of course, grades and marks are important, but the point is on how we handle the scenario, how we are able to take up such kind of things which are very close to the real world. So this tools and data science course entirely pushes you that in such a way that you're able to handle the real time or real world scenario where you won't have time. You'll just have uh, couple of minutes to take a decision, and how you take a decision. Or let's say these are, I mean, in real world scenario, it's you know the information, and you have to take a decision within the couple of minutes, or let's say you have like a limited duration. Here you can plan. So what I say is it's controlled chaos where you know that there is 45 minutes, and the questions or the way how the ROE is done is such a way that you will not be able to complete, like a single person may not be able to complete all the 10 questions or all the number of questions, whatever it is asked. But the point is how you are able to solve such kind of scenario where you have short duration and too much questions, and what other methods you can follow. And we already kept that it's not like operated in silo. You have open collaboration, you have open, everything is open internet, open, everything is open. So make use of it, and have, I mean, this is more like forming a strategy in form strategies, form a way how you can handle such kind of scenarios. I mean, if there are board game players, you would understand like there are different kind of games and different kind of game strategies. So similar to that, you just have to understand ROE and then try to, and on a fact that ROE is not something non-solvable. So the point is, if, let's say there are 10 questions and all these 10 questions are solvable. There is nothing outside what is what you have come across through these modules. Everything is within the syllabus, everything is within the pack. All we need is how depth we have gone through it, and how are we able to handle any kind of adaptation. Like the question will be slightly adapted. You won't like be a, there won't be a straightforward method to do it. Maybe you have to do like step. There will be a layer attached to the question, so you have to add that layer. You have to work on that layer. So working how quick we are able to adapt for a new scenario is what the crux of ROE and how why the ROE is kept in place. And the much more thing is yes, Jolish.
Yes, sir. The issue is that okay, because when you are preparing questions, you might have a clear path okay how to achieve that answer. But if we take a wrong turn somewhere, then we'll be stuck there. So that is a problem because your same we will not be having the same thought process, right? So sometimes, for example, if there is an image is given and if you want to convert to a data frame, then we might be doing some tools. Maybe the tool we may struggle there. Okay, sometimes there might be you might be choosing a different option. So so there is a high chance that we will get stuck somewhere.
There are a couple of things here, Jolish. So first thing is, let's say what are all the problems that can come in ROE, and what are things I can also explain about what are the things we were able to troubleshoot. See, the first thing is on technical side. When I say technical side, see the very basic attempt is portal not even accessible for you. So we have even gone to that cases where there will be a certain email which may not have a refresh page, or there will be some sort of a trouble which they had. Uh, so we are having each channel to address each level of problem which you face. Like as you mentioned, let's say there is a question and you are having a trouble with the tool. Eventually what you have is you have the helpline, like as I said, there is a Gmeet link and you have a helpline to troubleshoot technical issues. So when we say technical issues, let's say from an ROE perspective, you're not able to handle the question, or you're not able to, when I say handle the question, you're not able to get the page loaded, or let's say you're typing the answer, but the answer is not getting printed in the portal. I think these are basic things, but we have come across and then resolved most of the issues. But we wanted to make sure that all the fundamentals are covered at any part of ROE. So we ensure that whatever technical glitches within the portal or with respect to the specific tool that you use, we'll be able to provide you the clear cut idea of where you are going from. When I say where you're going from, let's say there's a problem which you encountered and you have mentioned step 1, 2, 3, and at the third step you are facing a problem, then it's more likely that you are using the tool in the not the right way. So we stop there and mention you that. So from a portal perspective, we think we are clear. We may advise you to look at your tool or the script which you have built, focus on that, and then go ahead. So you'll able to provide you directions. And beyond that, let's say if you are working on a specific question and then you are stuck at the question, I would say the wise method is to find out collaboration or jump on to the next question and then start working on the other question. So uh, the I mean there are different as I mentioned, it's like more like a board game. So like there are different strategies. Some people go with eat the frog category. There is a concept called eat the frog, where whatever is bigger thing, you just start it from there so that you finish the biggest one and then go for the smaller ones that you already know. That is one strategy which people use. Few others use like low hanging fruit. So they pluck out the low hanging. They know that okay, out of 10 questions, let's say I know 5 questions for which I know entirely, like the step 1 to the last step, nth step, I know how it has to be done. So I'll do that step and then finish off that 5. Then I'll jump on and see how I can work out on the remaining steps. So there are different ways by which people work out. So I think and let's say even one thing which works for me may not be working for you on the other hand. So it's your best strategy, or you evaluate yourself on which would be the good option for you. Let's say if you are going in the same question and then you have stuck with the tool, there are two options. One, you call the Gmeet and get clarity whether that's a portal issue or a tool issue. If it is tool issue, again there is a collaboration. So everybody is working out, everybody is going to the work on. So let's say there are 1,000 people enrolled for this exam. So definitely 1,000 people, and out of that, everybody will be trying to attempt each question. So the probability that someone might have solved your question already is higher. So basically, you may get an idea of how they have done it. And that's what we said. It's open collaboration. It's how quick you can derive at an answer. That's what the idea here it is.
Okay, then there was a two mock sessions that we didn't continue. Is there any plan for other mock sessions?
Sorry, what was it? There were two.
There was supposed to be 4 mock sessions, mock tests.
Correct. The mock sessions were already. 1 second. I believe we had already mock sessions. Okay, I believe there was last Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Okay, the Friday instructor couldn't solve even one question. Then what we concluded is that we'll continue this in the next session.
Okay, and that one. We do have sessions tomorrow and day after, so we'll be covering again on what are the other sections that are left. Yeah, we do have a session tomorrow and day after. Yeah, you have in the calendar, and we'll go through the mark ROE, like how we have how we work out with the questions. Yeah. Yep, I see it, and moreover, it's more of an experience. So I would say, so there's equal note that you can be anxious about and be cautious about ROE, but do not be scared about ROE. It's like be prepared and form a strategy. I think that makes you go. I mean, all these are like basic GAs. If you're able to solve, if you walk through all these all the 6 GAs, ideally you'll be able to solve the ROE. Given the fact that you just have to make sure that you're able to take quick decisions, quick thought process. So do not be scared about it. It's more of an experience, but be prepared for it.
So will we be solving any mock questions today?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Will we be solving any mock questions today?
No, not today. The sessions will be on tomorrow and the day after.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm seeing before September 24, there is a different pattern, and after 74 and September 24 and January 25, there is a different pattern for ROE.
Yeah, that is correct. And this term will be having the revision based on the last two. Like, so when I say last two, it's more like versionizing our ROE. So earlier the ROE was more based on different approach where you have data and then you run on data and then have a couple of questions with respect to ROE, this data that is shared. Later we had this portal and Professor Anand had the portal built. We started incorporating ROE within the portal. So that's the major difference. When you ask about the format, I don't think there's a change in the format. The format is going to be the same. Anywhere the logic is you'll be given a specific data set, and there will be set of questions that are asked out of the data set. So when I say asked out, it can be like scraping the data and then getting some insights from that. It can be just scraping can be at any level. It can be an XML, it can be HTML, it can be PDF. And there could be other scenarios where you have a DB and then get the data from the DB and then run few queries. So essentially the logic is simple. You will be given a data set and that will be followed up with few questions to arrive or evaluate the data. So this is the entire perspective of ROE, what ROE does. Now the format changes because of the way how we wanted to handle this ROE. Earlier we didn't have like ROE is slightly from ROE had to be super fast. We had restricted time, so we weren't able to post entirely in Seek portal. We had tried there, and then we started hosting it in a different, let's say in a siloed fashion, and then now we have incorporated back to the portal. I think that's the major difference. Apart from that, I don't see a big difference between the ROEs over the last, let's say 4 to 5 years, 4 years, yeah.
Because we see the previous before September 24, it is very difficult to complete in within 45 minutes. And we tried to these two ROE, September 24 and January 25. We able to complete 2-3 questions as quick as within 10 minutes.
Okay, so there are a couple of things. One is, see, the current format is more aligned with what the GA approach. So, which means that you are already tuned by using GA, you're already clear on how that works, and then you're able to solve, or you're able to arrive at an answer based on GAs and the extensive work that is done so far. For the previous terms, like let's say before September, it was more like case study based scenario. But again, coming back, it's basically scraping, right? So if you take, let's say not September 2024, but the previous one, uh, T2 24, yeah, 24 term 3 is September, so 24 T2, that should be, which is July. So that should be something like you have two data set. One is XML patent data, and the other one is PDF from Pollution Control Board. So all we have is you have a PDF data that you have to scrape and then convert that to a specific readable, machine readable data. Similarly, XML, you will have specific class of data that you have to get and then find out the combination. So more or less comes in a similar way. Maybe what we'll do is I'll see whether we'll be able to join in tomorrow's session. We can run through one of the earlier sessions and see how it is done and solved. But one assurance is that we are planning ROEs, and there are modifications that have been done. So essentially, the ROE which you'll be facing on Sunday will be in a similar pattern for the last 2 weeks. If you're able to solve the last two terms ROE and you're much more confident on that, I think then we are good. So the current ROE will be published or will be put up in a similar fashion to the previous terms. Just that your difficulty level will increase. It may not be straightforward. Sometimes it may be even straightforward, like the same set of questions, or sometimes it might be, as I mentioned, it might be two layered. So you would have been experienced with the first layer, but you just have to work on the second layer.
Because sir,
So
scrapping, if you given the scrapping something, it's took too much time to.
No, there are a couple of things here. So with respect to ROE, just not the ROE, throughout the course over the last, let's say, 4 to 5 terms, we have been working on the ROE. So when we say that we are, there is an assignment that is open for everybody to attend, we make sure that all the questions are done by the TAs and instructors. So all the 4 to 5 of us, we work out and then we resolve and then able to see that whether that is possible. And then we jump on and say, okay, this is something that is possible, and we make sure that this is available. And same case goes for the scraping. And to be clear, let's say if it is difficult, so the way how we even tune out is we make sure that, as I mentioned, there's no such question that is unsolvable within the ROE. Everything is solvable. All we need is strategy. Let's say, see, I mean, I just want to give a use case, but you can take it up or you can think about your own strategies. If I were someone who is attending an ROE, I would check out what my skills are, and I would try to form up a strategy team where I'll have experts in each case. Let's say if I'm not expert in web scraping, I'll just find out someone who is an expert in web scraping and then say, okay, you are an expert in web scraping, so scraping questions is something which you would solve, and then get like a code block which everybody can use. So that way I can form a team with experts, and then we are able to solve everything. Let's say if I am expert in geospatial, I'll say, okay, anything with geospatial, I'll take it. So let's say there are 10 questions, out of which 2 questions are spatial. It's my task within the team. So we make sure that all of us attempt 2 to 3 questions. And by the end of the ROE, if all of us are able to solve at least one question at the end of the period, the team or the specific the strategic team, like the team which I formed, if I have 5 members, each of them are able to solve one question. At the end, I'll be able to solve 5 questions along the one which I have solved, and the remaining 4 which my teammate have shared with me. So this is the kind of collaboration which I'm seeing. This is one such use case. There could be different strategies. You can have like be in a group of multiple teams, or you can be like someone who wanted to check with someone. So there, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to disclose here what you have to do, but there are ways in which you can handle it. See, as long as the problem here is when you say it's proctored or it's controlled, that's when I see that it's we believe that it's impossible or it's something which we cannot do. When we say collaboration is there, 100%, there is no chance that you will have ROEs that are difficult. We had even the histogram for the previous term, I think it was wide, like 60% of them were above 70% or 60%, I guess. I don't remember the exact numbers, but we had very good positive results with respect to ROE over the last term. So there are different ways. All I need is, all I would recommend is think about different strategies. Think about how you want to play the game. So that way, ROEs is better. As I mentioned, you may not be able to solve. You may not be able to solve everything within the given time, but form a strategy by which you are able to answer all the questions.
Thank you, sir.
So just one data set will be given, right? And then there will be 5 to 6 questions on that one data set.
No. So that is one older format, but I think the recent times we have something similar to GAs. So let's say you have one section where it is LLM prompt, and the other section might be completely like a data set, and you have to find the correlation between two data sets and something like that. So you may have one other question which is geospatial. You'll have completely different data. So so there can be, let's say there are 10 questions. There can be like 2 questions or 4 questions that have the, like 2 questions having the same data set. I don't think we had any question that has more than 2 having the same data set. So usually it's different data set. But the point is, it won't be a larger data set. Earlier ROEs are slightly different, where you had the Central Pollution Control Board data. I think that was for the entire country, and we split that into regions and sectors. But now I think in the current terms and current revisions, we are making sure that the file size is not large enough. So you'll be able to handle or get the data, open the file. The file sizes or the data which you have to crunch will be not to a greater extent. It will be like a smaller file that you can access, but not something like you have one file or one data set and then a list of 5 to 6 questions. So I don't think that's the case. And as you know, we ourselves are yet to look at the ROE. So over the next couple of days, we will be working out on ROE questions and then see how that pattern is. So if I'm not wrong, the patterns are varying and patterns are different. But this term, I don't think it will be like one data set. It will be very much following the GA pattern which we have. We have one data set and then 1 or 2 questions below it, and then you have completely another data set for another scenario.
Okay, sir. And how many questions will there be
Sorry,
exactly?
I don't know. We haven't got a chance to look at the ROE and solve it yet. So definitely we don't know. And you see, usually it will come around 8 to 10, if I'm not wrong, 8 questions to 10 questions. And I don't think more than that is.
Okay, and will those questions be similar for all the students, or will they be
No,
different
they are
for?
randomized. They are randomized. Similar to the
Sorry,
GA.
they are?
Randomized. So it's
Okay, okay,
different
okay.
for different students. It's not that one. Including, it will vary either right from the data set or from the question which you have been given. There are 2 levels of randomization that we have in all the like assignments and ROEs. When we say randomization is all about either you can randomize the data. Let's say if I'm giving what to say, let's say if I have some demographic data, one data set can, one person can get the data set of India, the other person can get some other country. So there is one level of randomization that can happen with the data. Other randomization is the question itself. One person can get the correlation between let's say gold prices and the dollar. Somebody else can get something like crude oil with respect to rupees. So nevertheless, the data set will have like the same data set, but there could be a way where you randomize a specific or parameterize a question or change the data set, like section or division, stratify the data set. So there are two ways of which you can do randomization, but it will be randomized. Not every person will get the same question.
Okay, sir.
Sir, you mentioned that TS will be trying to solve the same questions. Do they track the time, how much time TS are taking to solve this paper? And will there be a normalization based on that?
Yeah, we do like internal validation. We try to work out and then see how much time it takes, and then if there is difficulty, we make sure that that difficulty has to be reduced. So we have like internal process by which we evaluate. That's what I was saying. Any ROE is not like unsolvable. It's always solvable. We just do internally practice once, make sure that we are not facing any technical issues and we are able to solve the questions.
Excuse me, sir. Is it enough to work on the
Yes.
Colab, sir? Not necessary to work on VS Code, no? Which is better in terms of tools, sir?
With respect to tools, okay. See, I mean, I highly recommend VS Code or any other IDE which you have. When I say IDE, it can be not just VS Code. Like there are VS Code, there is Cursor, there is Windsurf, there are multiple tools. So whatever comfortable IDE you are with, just given the fact that you'll have additional plugins, especially when you have like a database file or you have to read a database file. Nevertheless, I don't think collab should also be a challenge. I think in one of the even one of the ROEs, mock ROEs which we did, I think we were able to cover out all the questions using collab. So we are just able to run it in collab and then see what the results are and then try it out. So see, if you ask me, okay, whether I can use collab, definitely you can, but whether that can solve all the problems, maybe yes, but I would say always have IDE as a backup. I don't think collab should be able to like 90% solve the problems. Maybe there could be 10% of problems which you may need to have like a dedicated IDE or something that helps you better.
ID in the sense, sir? What does it mean?
VS Code. VS Code or any other setup. But as I mentioned, so most of, I mean, so far, if you ask me like, okay, whether you are able to look out the previous ROEs, throughout the previous term ROEs, we haven't faced any issues with respect to using a collab. I think collab should be sufficient now. But for the current ROE, I'm not sure like whether we have anything specific to the IDE. On 90%, it's not the case. Like you should be able to use collab itself. Collab should be sufficient enough to work on all geospatial setups or anything. So that should be a challenge. And one more thing, I just want to remind you before I forget. So you also mentioned about ROEs. I think the previous term, when we had ROE, we also had ROE mock sessions. And all those mock sessions are available as playlists. I remember in previous session on Wednesday, Carlton was mentioning about this. And we have all the playlist sessions there. And we have covered out like different questions, how each questions are solved. So you can use the tomorrow's and Friday session, but I would suggest you to go through the playlist before that, so that you will have like very specific questions. Like you can go through the playlist. If you run through the playlist, you'll be able to see the code blocks and how it is solved. You can try it out internally, and if you face an error, you can bring that error in tomorrow and the day after session. So if you ask me like how you want to efficiently work on the session, I would say don't think about that as a lecturing session. Think about, because you have all the sources, all the previous term question ROEs are there. You have all the mock-up sessions that were conducted for the previous term. So just go through the term. You have the questions. If you try it out and then you're able to crack or you're able to solve that, good. If you are facing a problem, bring that problem to the session so that we will be able to resolve that, or we will be able to debug on that code block.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and animation as Jupyter Notebook can be used in user. Yes, of course, if you have a plugin there. So VS Code has these different plugins. So the only difference when I say go for an IDE is because it has like multiple plugins. You can run open a database file there. You can open up Jupyter Notebook and yeah, anything. It's not like difficult to open up that in Colab. All you need is load the DB SQLite file and then run SQLite and then find out the file name and then establish a connection. So not a big difference between Colab and VS Code. I think you should be able to solve most of the things with Colab. So nothing much. Back to your answer, VS Code has multiple plugins, not just Jupyter Notebook. It also has like different other plugins like Thunder Client. So you can check out the VS Code development tools in our course content. We also have like some of the plugins that you can use. It'll have like Rainbow CSV to open CSV files. You have inline PDF reader. You have like inline database query manager. So there are multiple things which you can add as a plugin within the VS Code.
Sir, when will the link to the ROE be shared? On 20th July? How earlier to the actual, sir?
Yeah, the link will be up exactly by 1 o'clock, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I think the last term we had slightly different scenario where you are able to hack the system. So we said that the systems will be available by before even 10 minutes, but if you're able to hack the system, you'll be getting it out. Without hacking, it will be available to everyone at 1. But if you want to hack, it's available at 12:50, and you can still try out and then work around. So there are like different ways by which we provide it. We'll give a clear cut indication on how or when you will get the link or what is the scenario we have for this current ROE. Just that focus on how to solve the fundamentals. I think fundamentals is sufficient. When you ask about the link will be available exactly at 1 whenever it is whatever is mentioned in that timeline now 1 to 1:45. So
Okay.
essentially it's at 1 p.m. Sunday you should be able to access the portal, and we'll also have a separate Gmeet link. If you have any trouble not able to access the portal, immediately join the Gmeet and then raise a query so that we'll be there. I think at least one of the instructors will be there for them to solve the technical issue.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So, are you making sure that ChatGPT won't be able to solve these questions? Because if you have done an exercise like that, then we can avoid spending time on that.
I would see. Not sure. I think it's how wisely we use ChatGPT or LLMs. So maybe there are certain questions which you just cut, copy, paste, and put in ChatGPT. It may be able to give you problem. The problem solution. There could be certain questions which it cannot be able to answer straightforward. See, there are certain level of scrutinization which we make, but this time we I don't think we are focusing more on how whether ChatGPT is able to resolve or whether ChatGPT is not able to resolve. I think that parameter is not something which you have focused for this current time. I don't think that is something which you have to. When I say we are building a robust system, it's already open collaboration and open book. Third thing is we don't want to fight back with something which is developing every day. LLMs have been refined day by day and completely trained algorithms, such as Sonnet or the O3. All these models are well versed. They're able to they were able to retrieve the context. So nevertheless, what complex query you put, it's able to crack and result. So there could be a scenario where, to answer your question, there could be a scenario like for few questions, if you may put the data sample set and then question there, maybe LLMs can able to solve your problem. Yeah, but we haven't checked that out. I don't think we are having that checklist for this already. Any other questions? Okay, if no more questions, we can wind up the session. We do have sessions tomorrow and the day after regarding ROE.
For the mock,
Yes.
even in the live section, they are not able to solve it. So, what is the expectation from the students that we have for from the like even them? They are telling the answers may be wrong, may not be wrong. We don't know the answer is the correct or not.
Yes, please.
So, because last two previous sessions that this mock session happened, it's like it happened, it doesn't happen. With all due respect, sir, I'm not saying in a bad way, but I'm telling in a good way. If you consider yourself as a student, also you can understand this thing. If we don't have the correct answers, what answers to be put, then we cannot tell now like this answer is correct or this answer is wrong. You are getting my point, sir?
I totally understand. I just have to go back to. So this is on Friday session, right? The session on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go through. And I didn't get a chance to check this out, so I'll see that.
Sir, our answer is matching with TA, but your TA answer is not matching with the answer provided there.
Oh, you mean to say that whatever TAs and the students got the same answer, but that didn't match with the answer key?
Yes.
Okay. I think, okay, I'll go through that. Maybe this is something which might be on the previous, when I say previous, maybe even before that, like let's say 2024 or Jan 2024, maybe. So,
that two Excel files.
no, two Excel files. Okay, I think then it's definitely older one. Okay.
The previous mock only they have given us the previous mock also.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
Because they are keep on telling only one thing, you can do anything, but only problem is that how we do anything if we don't have anything.
Totally understood. So there are, okay.
No,
There are,
no offense, I didn't mind to hurt you, but it's as a student, you can understand.
I totally understand. There is no, I mean, nothing offense to be taken here. It's all about how we handle the progress, right? So whatever questions you have, so the ROE, the philosophy ROE is very simple. You'll be given a data, and you'll be given questions to evaluate and arrive at a conclusion from the data. So this is the overall objective. Now, with respect to the Friday session, I do hear that there are certain queries that have been raised to the Friday session. I'll look through this, and then maybe you'll be able to course correct and have.
Same, because see, I have went through this same thing, because this water query also is been solved like second time now. In the previous mock session also it has been solved, but still there also same problem happened. Within 1 hour, 2 hours, they are not able to finish this full paper also. Okay. How do you expect the kids should be finishing this much time in 45 minutes? I don't know.
Okay, there are different cases here. No, there are different cases here. So here, when we say we are working on one question, so I mean, I was just explaining this couple of minutes back on how you can strategize your way. So see, even if you ask me, whether I am good at doing all, let's say, web scraping, I'm good at geospatial. I cannot be an expert of all the specific tasks.
That's one strategy we are making with so many people now. But only problem now coming.
Now the live session,
knows how to solve the question, but live session is okay, useful, sir. But one thing. One question is from here, is from other question is from Afghanistan, other question is from Iran. Hello.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, there's totally different fields will be there, and everything will be totally different from each other. I agree with you. This is IT, this is a subject, and I this is like I am telling you the personal experience. This is like past 2-3 years, I like this subject too much, which actually I'm devoting my time like 10 hours. I'm not getting time for any other subject. I'm actually devoting 10 hours Even though no result is coming, I'm enjoying that one. But still, when it comes to ROE now, at least they can tell to the student, okay, this is thing is there. But you try your best, don't put like pressure like 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. This is making them mad.
Okay, I mean,
In a good
this
way.
is
Yeah.
see.
Ask them to make the strategy. You have 45 minutes, I understand. You
Mhm.
have 45 minutes only. That's a very big thing for them now.
There is a reason why we have this ROE. I think I'll try to find out that discourse post. I think this is. I mean, we have been having ROEs right from our terms. I mean, for the last 3 to 4 years, we are having, and every ROE we have this format. And this format, see, it's all about how you take the ROE. If you if you think ROE, I mean, when you say it's pressure, I would say this is the ground which you can take the pressure. I mean, let's say if you're here, you are able to strategize, you are able to work out. Take this as a playground where you can try out everything.
That's why
Tomorrow,
I
when
totally agree. I'm working in a field, and right now also I'm working in a field where anytime pressure will come and too much lives are depending. I'm working for aircraft maintenance. If to move out, it has to move out. No chance. Anything you put in it, just it's like you have to do whatever you have to do.
correct,
You cannot play with safety. Also, you have to be very much cautious while doing all the repairs and everything. I'm totally agree with that.
correct.
But only my question is, my suggestion will be a small suggestion. Please, if you are when the DAs or anybody they are solving the questions, at least if they are solving one question also, at least they should make sure this is the answer. It should not be changing for other people. You get my
Understood.
point.
I think that's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. That understood. Nevertheless, if you follow the same steps,
That's it only, sir. Nothing else.
yeah. I
Because
think
we are struggling. Like I put my 2 days in that one ROE. This one I already got this one. That's a previous mock also. Because if you can provide us a new mock, okay, this is the new mock. ROE can be based on this one. Okay, they will give their 100% for sure. But if you are keep on giving the previous mock that also not in the course anymore, what's the use of giving it out at what cost?
no. There are a couple of points taken here. Let me debug that into two sections. One is if you have a data set and you have the necessary steps to be followed,
Yeah.
ideally you will have the same set of answers. Given the fact that the data might be different, so if the data is different, you're going to get different answers. Now,
Agreed.
if that's a challenge, yeah, if that's a challenge,
The answer is matching, but the given in that one not matching.
okay. Now, yeah, to answer that, understood. So let me go through. We'll take it back. So we have two more sessions tomorrow and the day after. We'll focus on that how to resolve. But the idea here is to ensure that you have the right process to be done here. So whatever
Yeah.
sessions we have, so that's the ideal process which we have. Now going back on the answer key and whether that didn't
No
match,
problem.
we just have to go back and see what the problem is.
Doing
Yeah,
anything, there is a standard process that has to be followed. Result coming whatever, it doesn't matter. That one I totally agree with you.
exactly.
But only thing is that like you have some revision, right? You have some amendments in the process. You have some amendment in the working. Everything amended already,
Mhm.
right? Everything amended. Why mock are not getting amended? Why we are following the like 2, 3 sessions back that has been removed already? That's not part of the ROE. Also, why we have to do those more? That is my question. Got it, sir? If you don't mind.
I think I get that, Gaurav. No,
Yeah.
I think it's very clear now when we go to mock. I would say the reason why we had such kind of sessions is basically the fundamentals are same. The
Yes.
fundamentals are going to be the same. So that's what the fundamentals. If you're able to progress through the fundamentals and arrive at the solution, that's exactly what we'll be repeating it for the entire stuff. Just that your format might be changed, your data might be changed, what you are deriving at the end from the data set might be different, but the fundamentals are fundamentals. I think that's what the TAs are trying to cover here. But point taken, I'll be checking out the session on Friday. We have two more sessions, upcoming sessions. Nevertheless, I also mentioned about this. We have previous mock sessions as well. So previous mock sessions, running through all the data set, trying to evaluate and then provide insights on that. So we'll run through that as well. I mean, you will have that. You should be having access to that as well. So we'll that should help us, like help you in a greater section like solving ROE.
Agreed, sir.
Yep.
No problem, sir. We wait for your response.
Yep.
Have a nice day.
Thanks for bringing that going. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then any more questions? Where to get answers for mock ROE? There should be an answer key for the different ROE sets that we have. Unless until if that's an open data set, let's say we have like geospatial data, which is open data set. There you may not get an answer key specifically for one set. So when I say answer key, I think for one of the ROEs, we had something like a courier company which had we need to send a parcel from Warsaw, Poland to I think Rome, Italy, or some other location. So we want to find the shortest distance between those two sections, ensuring that we are making hub centers as the place where we are able to transfer between one station to other station. I think that was one such question, and that such kind of questions you have like open data set. You'll have lat long of each individual dispatch center and the hub location, and as long as you get Warsaw to London, you will have one answer. If it is Warsaw to Chennai, you will have another answer. So that key may vary. But apart from that, if it is like a open data set and specific answer, I mean, there should be answers to the key. But if maybe just raise, I mean, if it is already raised in discourse, just have the discourse ID. We'll make sure that we are able to fetch the answer. Like, let's say if it is way back, like older ROEs, we may or may not have an answer key. I'll be very frank with that. But definitely we'll provide you the way how to arrive at an answer. So that way it's easier to solve the ROEs for the current set. Okay. So any other questions? Any queries? Okay, then if not, we'll wind up the session. We'll have 2 more sessions today and I mean the next day, Thursday and Friday. We'll catch up there again. Thank you.
Thank you.